you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. Aspire for more.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Journey to More, where we discuss topics to help you manifest more. Manifest more of what is for you, more of what you desire, more of what is aligned with who you are, more of what honors you on your journey toward more. I am your host, Dr. Tammy, the Catalyst, life strategist, literacy educator, and consultant, author, and speaker. And today is a special day because I have some special people that I am interviewing today, and I'm really excited about today's episode where we're going to talk about our return on investment, the college edition, of course. And so this is Teacher Appreciation Week, so I figured this would be a good episode for Teacher Appreciation Week. And of course, I teach in college. I'm a college professor. I teach. I know we haven't talked about it much on the podcast, but I am an assistant professor at a local college. And one of the things that I do is I include the things that I talk about in my business as a part of my class and a part of my content, a part of what we discuss and read. And so this is something that most people think when I say I'm a strategist, that I'm just a strategist and it's really disconnected from my full-time job, when really it's not. It's a part of my job. It's a part of what I do, and that's why it's really difficult sometimes when I explain what I do and how I do it and how it's all connected. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And so I thought today we'll talk about some of the things that we have discussed in my classes through readings, through writings. We have had online discussions regarding this topic, and I figured this would be a good time this week in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week to talk about this and share a little bit of this side of what I do and how, even though I'm a strategist for women primarily, and then I have some men clients, that I also do this with my students. Of course, they pay through the school. They don't pay me. But I still do that same work when I'm teaching. It's part of my content. It's not in lieu of my content. It's one of the things that I embed and teach the reading and writing that I do because I am a literacy professor. And so that's what I do. So today we're going to talk about this idea of college and that return on investment. And, you know, I know some of you are thinking about going to college. You are in college. You may have attended college and don't want to go back. But I want you to think about, as we talk about this, that even at this juncture in their life, and I work with students, because I'm at a college, I work with students that are traditional college students that are 19 and come into college right after high school. But then I have some that are non-traditional. They come back to school after they've been in the field, they've done military service, they have worked on jobs, they have a family, they've done it all, and they come back to college. So I wanted to just give you an idea that these crossroads happen at different points in our life. And at any point, you can think about how you want to move forward. And if you know what you want to do, and what do you do with that information? Because a lot of what I do is talking about living on purpose and doing those things that are intentional. And I want my students to do that even as they're embarking on this journey, because this is just the beginning of the next chapter. Whether it is the chapter or the next chapter, it just depends on where they are. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And so today's episode is really going to be an interview. I'm just going to interview them and let them share a little bit about what we've talked about and about this topic about college, the purpose of college, and how to live on purpose at this point in their life. So if you would, for me, I want them to introduce themselves. Who would like to go first? Just tell us who you are and your major, possibly.
Okay. My name is Alyssa, and I'm 21 years old, and I am a digital media major. So basically, that would go into like graphic design or web design. That's kind of the career that I'm looking towards, and this is my first year of college.
Yes, if only she was a little further along, I could use someone like that, a part of my team.
Someday.
So I have my eye on her. All right, thank you, Alyssa.
I'm Nathan. I'm 26. I'm at school for physical therapy assistant for now. If I like it, then I'll pursue my doctor's in physical therapy and probably eventually start my own practice with a specific breed of people with special injuries to work with.
Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. So we're going to talk about some of these things that they talked about and how this is going to play out now and in the future. And, because I know that my undergraduate degree was in psychology, and then I moved my master's into education, and that's kind of where I stayed. But I still use both. So we're going to talk about all of this. And so let's just start out. So we read an article in class about college and what is college for. And so I want us to talk about that. So what is the purpose of college, or what do you think the purpose of college?
I guess it depends on the person themselves, because sometimes people come not really just for a degree. Maybe they come to take a few classes, to like further their education, or they want to learn something that they wouldn't have access to on their own. But I guess for most people, it's a pretty standard answer. It's to have a career, and so get your 4 or 5 years in and get that degree so you can have a solid job. Because the job equals a comfortable life. So, but I guess also for other people, they want to refine their skills and become more useful and just know more things. And
so what is it for you?
For me, well, I wanted to take my artistic skills and kind of get a better understanding of it and
really hone in on
it. Because you have your natural abilities, but when you go to a place where they can refine that and teach you things that you wouldn't have had access to on your own, it's really helpful. And I really enjoy a classroom setting because I was homeschooled most of my life. So being able to be in that setting and have someone point out stuff and help you out, it means a lot to me, and it's helpful. And yeah, I enjoy it.
So from what I can see, being in this environment, I think college is mainly you're trying to have these young 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds mainly learning how to step into adulthood. So now again, they have responsibilities of waking up early, attending classes, and also gaining experience at the same time in a specific degree or major what they're in. You're not really going to get any kind of experience if you don't have any kind of experience beforehand as well. So to me, college is basically preparing someone for the next step in their life and as far as their career. Everyone has their different reasons, but I think the idea of college is getting people ready to grow up and face adulthood.
Yeah. And for you?
College for me is experience. Okay. I know nothing about physical therapy, even though I've been to a physical therapist a lot, but I don't know the method to their madness. So right. I want to be able to gain that knowledge, everything that I could possibly learn, so I can, again, help people and then possibly move on to do my own personal practice.
So I know that this is really the beginning of your college career here at this college.
Yeah.
And so what has been, or what do you see? So it can be what has been, or what do you see now that you've taken a few classes? What is the real benefit of a college education?
I think the real benefit is getting you exposure. Exposure to me is the biggest thing as far as college education. You're not going to get this type of exposure just working at a regular H-E-B job or a regular corner store job. If you're going for something, you have a general idea of what you want to do, how are you going to get exposure to that beforehand? That's what college is there for. So college provides exposure, and it's exposing me to new things where there are some things I didn't learn about myself either. I haven't been in school in 8 years, so I'm over here thinking, man, I'm gonna do really bad in school. But coming to find out, I'm doing way better than I ever thought but that was something that I didn't know about myself, because when I was in high school, I struggled. But looking from the outside in, I was a terrible kid. I didn't pay attention. All I cared about was partying, drinking, hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I started seeing the real benefit to it. As long as you show up on time, you communicate with your instructor, and most importantly, communicate with your peers, which I think is lacking in this generation. And just doing your work, turning in on time, and you're just doing the best that you can.
Yeah, I think life experience. I think a lot of students that come back after being out of school a while or doing something else, working or whatever, is that they don't acknowledge that life experiences mean so much. And I find that students are a lot more successful when they have life experience. They've experienced some things, and I know my parents always say it when they grow up. So that kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like it really is like, I guess in a term, weeding out the weak in a way. Like, you know, in high school, like you kind of just show up and you do a couple papers and you turn them in and you just show up until you graduate. But with college, it's like no one holds your hand, no one like tells you, oh well, you got to do this, this, and this. Like, yes, you have an advisor and you have people who may have gone to that college before, but really your success relies solely on you and not the ability of your teacher or anyone like that. Like, you show up, you turn in your work, and you are responsible for how well you do.
So the student success behaviors, we like to call that as part of our student success behaviors, those things that make us successful as students, time management, organization, those type of things. That's good to know, good to know. So what do you want to learn? So you're here, you want to be graphic design. See, I'm getting it all wrong. You want to do that. So what do you want to learn? Is there anything specific that you want to learn? Besides just those things we talked about in general, like what specifically you want to learn for your area?
Yeah, this year I took an animation course, and that's really what I wanted to learn mostly. Yeah. I want to do animation like on the side, but I would like to get a graphic design degree so I can be like versatile, But I got to learn animation, and I got to learn the program, and it was a really awesome class, and to be able to make my own animation, to storyboard and get my own music together and everything. It was a long process, but it was so rewarding and so worth it, and it was really enjoyable, and I think I found like that thing that I want to do. It's like and it really meant a lot to me. So yeah.
I'm hoping to learn again, helping people gain back mobility from injuries, and kind of help them rehabilitate themselves again. When I messed up my back in the military, I literally had to walk all over again, and it was hard. Being only 22 at the time and having that kind of pain, it really opened my eyes a lot. And then I realized that the military wasn't there for me, so I eventually continued hurting myself through the process. But what I really want is just being able to be able to work with people who suffer injuries, so they can somewhat gain their life back. 'Cause I feel like I lost part of my life spending almost 6 months injured, and I want to be able to help people faster than that. Right. Because there's a passion, at least with me. It's like no one listened to me. 'Cause, oh, you're a skinny guy, there's nothing wrong with you. It's like, well, can you please check? Listen to me. I'm hurting. Yeah. And I just want to learn how to do that.
Yeah. So what is one thing you wish that you knew before starting college? So you're here, you know what you want to do, you know what you want to learn. We've talked about that. You've kind of figured out what your purpose is at this moment in your college career. But before you even got into this, so for those that are thinking about coming to college, what is the one thing you wish you knew before starting college?
The long lines. Waiting forever in the financial aid office, like hours. No. Time management. Right. I wasn't really that great with it at my first semester. Right. Like, I was working and I was doing school, and I just didn't have like a set schedule. And then the second semester, I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, like that, you know, and set everything and have a time for everything, basically. Yeah. And you even like said you should have a schedule and have something to reference to, and I was like, that is like super helpful. So I was really thankful for that. But
well, thank you. We'll see how well it worked. All right.
Well, it's going to sound kind of goofy, but I really wish I knew how to make my class schedule better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not goofy at all.
Because
that's more of an advising piece.
Like the first part when I came, it was out of control because on Mondays, I'm a full-time student, so I have 5 classes with 12 hours. And Mondays and Wednesdays is the longest days. And I'm also a single father too, so when I have my son, I can't really plan everything out because on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm in school from 9 all the way until 7 p.m. But it's not back to back. It's you have a 2-hour class here, you have an hour and a half window gap. You have a class after that for another almost 2 hours, then you have another hour and a half window gap, and now you have your late night class, which is 2 hours. So it's like, I wish I would have known this. I can put them
together. So you get one sitter for one time, and
exactly.
That's it. Yes.
And I had to constantly change sitters, whether it's my sister, my mom, my grandmother, and it gets exhausting because, again, I'm spending most of I don't see him already. I got out of the military for him. And now I don't see him because I have a very busy schedule. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have 2 classes, and it's easy. It's like, well, I should have put one of the harder classes. Yeah,
balance. So balancing out the actual classes, the course, the content, the easier classes with the more difficult classes, but then also the time, like when to put those in there. And part of that comes with registering early. The earlier you register, like we find out as you go to college, the earlier you register, you get the better time slots. You get to be able to pick and choose exactly what you want. Toward the end, you're going to get what's left over. So, so all of that comes into play. That's actually a good thing. I mean, so those of you that are considering, listen, that's very important because it really alters your experience, like whether you're going to come to class regularly, be on time, and how, your family, you got to think about those around you, how they take that.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is that. Please talk to your advisors and schedule something around your life. Remember, college is there for you.
Yeah. So we've been so part of my platform is talking about your purpose and knowing what you've been designed and designated to do. And I know when I was in college, I knew what I wanted to do, I think, when I was 4. I knew what I was destined to do because I was teaching my sister at 4 years old. She was my student, and we had the little blackboard. It was literally a little black chalkboard, and I give her tons of homework. That's what I thought school was, which was not true. But she was my teacher, but I ignored that. So when I chose a degree, I chose psychology because I was thinking, I don't want to teach these bad students, but maybe I should figure out what's behind the behavior. And so I decided to do that. But of course, I think those things that you are meant to do, you kind of get to them. Sometimes, as the last episode, if you haven't checked it out, check it out, is Detours to Destiny. I think we take detours and we get rerouted, but the destination is the same. Mm-hmm. And so I know at this point in my college career, when I was an undergraduate, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did what I was okay with doing, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and it kind of evolved. So I'm curious at this point, do you know what your purpose is, or you just know what you like to do? And you can answer that either one, your purpose or what you like to do.
Yeah, I think for me, I found this semester, like I actually had the opportunity through my animation class I had. We made our own animation, and I got to write this story that had elements of abuse and self-harm and depression and freedom from that, and basically showing that there is hope. And I think that I don't know what I want to do, but I think my purpose is to use my experiences and be able to portray that through my art, whether that be animation or maybe like drawing or painting or whatever, and anything that I do to kind of convey things that I've gone through to maybe other people that are going through the same thing, and reach out to them and know that they're not alone and that there is hope. And I'm just glad that I get that opportunity to refine my skills so I can do that and hopefully give people a chance to be like, I'm not the only one like this. I'm not the only one with this kind of issue, or, so.
So I can't wait. So I'm hoping I'll be around or still in contact with you to see how you use your artistic voice to help others, because I'm interested in what will develop. Will you go more digital, or will you do something more
I'm interested too.
like painting and art? So that's pretty cool.
Because I have no idea. So I'm interested too.
And like I said, I didn't either at the time, but I went with that moment, what I knew I would want to do and what I could do, like live with and desire to do that I actually think I would like. And that's kind of what you do at this stage. And so I'm just curious as to how far you've gotten, because some people have taken classes in their major at this point and some haven't. And you really, so those of you that have, like yourself, who've taken animation, you've taken some of those classes, then you kind of, well, at least I know I want to do something with the arts.
Right.
Right? Because somebody may get in there and be like, oh no, this is not for me. Like not. And so, and then there's some that's just taking kind of the core and what people refer to as their basic core curriculum.
Right.
And then you may not know, because you're just doing histories and maths and sciences and Englishes, right? You're not doing your major area. So, yeah. So how about you, Nathan?
Well, the pastor once said, usually something that you're naturally good at is usually your calling. Well, I used to believe that until I was
so
in
it's
high
not
school.
that.
So I never thought about really being a physical therapist at all. I had different paths that I wanted to take. I wanted to be a professional baseball player when I was younger. I wanted to be in a good rock band. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I wanted to be Special Forces. I wanted to do all that. None of it really happened. Right. But the only thing I maintained very consistent throughout my life is that I had always said I want to be a personal trainer, and I was like 18. And I got away from fitness and stuff when I joined the Army, because it's a different kind of fitness.
Right.
And then I had a very specific incident in my life that kind of forced me to do bodybuilding and stuff. And then after that, I started looking, and people were coming up for me, hey, can I work out with you? And I realized, like, I'm teaching these people how to work out. I can do this. I can make money. And then I started looking at people, hey, man, I'm injured.
Yeah.
What can I do for this? I'm like, so then I would do my own research, like, hey, you have this wrong with you. You need to consider doing this moment instead of this one, because this is going to give you the most maximum amount of work.
Yeah.
But it's also not going to put as much strain. So it didn't really happen as a plan. It kind of just
evolved.
Fell into my lap. I'm really hoping it is, because, I love fitness, and being able to help people has really gave more meaning to my life. The way I look at it is, somebody has to do it, and I'll go ahead and I'll do it. Yeah. So it was just a manifestation over years, and a kind of little bit of different principles that kind of made me the decision to where, hey, it's fitness. I can be a personal trainer, and I can work with injured people with having a physical therapy background. So it's like I'm kind of benefiting myself, and to kind of go for the big 10-year plan of all of this. So yeah, it happened by accident.
Yeah. and I really think that there are no accidents. And I think that sometimes you have to do some things that you may not want to do, or you don't think you would do, to rule them out, that, okay, that's not for me, in order to get to what you want. So I think it's just like we talked about last week on last week's episode, Detours to Destiny. I think the path may change, but the destination's the same. And so you didn't know your destination, but it's been there. And I think that's part of this process in going to college, is when that's revealed. And anytime you embark on something that's like that. All right, so before we go, I want to have a few more segments. So one, I want to know what's next for you. This semester is wrapping up to a close. This is it. For this semester, I'm going to pass all our classes. So what's next? Will you go to summer? What will you do? And is there anything now that you've had this semester with the classes you've taken this semester that you think you want to research or investigate further? What's next? I guess that's it. What's next?
In the summer, I will be, I have a side business. I sing at weddings, and I and
I
play
didn't know that
guitar.
all the semester. I didn't know that.
I don't really do it during the semester, so hopefully I'll get that revamped. And other than that, I'm kind of taking the time off for the summer, but I'll be back in the fall.
Okay.
So to keep going and keep seeing what the Lord.
Will you
has
be
for
full
me.
time, part time in the fall? What
For
are you
school,
planning?
I'm thinking full time.
All right.
We'll see
Let's
with
go
my
for
job
it.
because I got to pay that car bill. So, I
Yes,
believe
it's called life.
when I did it this year and I got to see how much I could handle.
Right.
I think that I can take
Make
another
that work.
class. Yeah,
That's
I think I
awesome.
can make it work. So yeah,
Take a little break and then go for it.
absolutely.
Awesome.
And as for me, I'm not going to take no summer classes because the GI Bill doesn't cover summer. So I'm going to go work in Colorado. So
Wow.
I'll be possibly leaving this week towards the end. So I'll be doing lumberjack stuff. So I'm kind of the jack of all trades. Like I have a very interesting life. I've been doing hard labor and everything since I was 12 years old. So I'm not scared of anything. But it's good money. I get to go work with my best friend. He's literally family to me.
Right.
So we're going to be making some good money cutting down trees in a different state, which I get to explore, travel, and at the same time lift heavy things and cut trees down.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, so
And make money, right?
And make money about it. Just work. All
I don't consider
summer.
that a fun summer, but you describe it that way, it may not be so bad.
It might be very fun. It's in Colorado. And the only thing I'm worried about is the elevation. I might die.
Yeah, no, you'll be
No,
fine.
you'll be fine.
Drink lots of water, though.
Right. But I won't start again until the fall. I'll be a full-time student again. I'm taking 6 classes.
Wow.
In the fall, I actually get to go into my major this time, so a little bit busier, and just continue fighting the good fight and just try to be positive about it. The next 2 semesters are going to be a little bit rough, but looking at the course layout, the other 3 that are left, it's going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be a little bit difficult.
I like that, smooth sailing. We're going to claim that.
Yep. It's going to be difficult, and then it's going to relax.
Kind of taper off. So this is Teacher Appreciation Week. So I've got to ask a few questions about Teacher Appreciation Week. So we'll ask a serious question and a fun question. So the first question is, who is your favorite teacher or the most influential teacher in your career from even pre-K, if you went to pre-K or daycare till now? Who's that person? What grade did they teach and why? Let's give them a little shout out.
I have had so many amazing teachers, honestly. You've been an amazing teacher, genuinely, and I super appreciate you. This semester, my animation teacher, Mr. C, he was great. My drawing teacher, Miss Ashley. But I think one of my favorite teachers of all time is probably my art teacher, Debbie Kastner, and she taught me in high school, and I took her class 3 times.
Not because you fail, right?
Not because I failed.
Okay, all right. Let's clarify that.
Because I loved that class so much. She's not only an amazing artist and an amazing person, she's so sweet and genuinely loves her students and loves what she does. And shout out to her business. She has a business called It's Art Time, I think. Yeah, It's Art Time. And
Is she online? Does she have a website?
I don't know if she has a website, but she has a Facebook, and she teaches painting classes. And
so say the name one more time for
It's Art Time.
Art Time, all right.
It's Art Time, and she is amazing. And my drama teacher, Mrs. Heather Halleck, she so amazing, an amazing person, super passionate about theater, made me fall in love with acting, and she taught history too. She's just passionate in everything she does, and I had so many amazing teachers, and I can't thank them enough. So
that's awesome. Well, that's good. You have more than one. Some people have to really kind of think one teacher. So if you have multiple, that means you've had a great experience, and you've had them kind of sprinkled throughout. So it kind of makes it a good journey when you have to go to school.
But I love them all. If you're listening, I love all of you.
She's lying.
I love it.
As for me, it's going to sound very cliche, but I didn't really have teachers that I inspired when I was younger. I would say, honestly, you're probably the best teacher that I've ever had because I can actually remember and actually wanted to come to class. Mm-hmm. It is not so much of the academics in itself entirely. It's that you'll teach the class, but you also put some type of likes experience in it. And I think generally that's what a lot of teachers lack. It's like you can teach the academics all day, but what are you doing to benefit the student as a whole? And I think you do that very well. Despite if your life is falling apart or not, you put that to the side and you pretty much you do what you have to do, but you also make it fun to learn. It's not like I'm right here just falling asleep like, man, this is so dry. Okay, that's my other classes. Like, just please stop. Give me a monster or something.
I'm always excited to come into class.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it because my thing is like, if I had to be here, we're going to have fun, but we're also going to do what we're going to do. We take care of business, but we're going to have fun. So that means that it's still working. It's still working.
And honestly, it's a good tactic because, like me, I'm 26.
Right.
And I'm a freshman. I'm fresh meat. So it's like, they're having you as my first teacher that I ever seen. I was like, college is going to be easy. It's going to be fun. And that was my first impression of it. And to me, that was exciting because I'm going from a different environment, different lifestyle to now this one, and it made an easy transition because everything that you taught me, I incorporated into my other classes because it made sense to me.
Perfect. Thank you. They're gonna have me crying, so we're gonna keep moving. So what we're gonna do is do the fun question now because I think this one will make me laugh. I'm actually kind of scared, so just a caveat before we get started. I have no idea what they're gonna say. I'm actually afraid of it, but I put it in here because I think this would. Because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I am a teacher, and I've been a teacher for 18, 19 years, and so I figured it'd be good, and I put them on the spot, so they are in front of me, but I told them to be honest. So if the episode ends after they answer the question, you'll know that I just cut it. We didn't even do the closing. We're not going to even close this out. All right, so how would you describe me as a teacher? One word, short phrase, just what would you say?
LL Cool J.
I'm just kidding. See, they know me. They know me.
I'm just kidding. I would say passionate about what you do. Okay. And when someone is passionate about what they do, it makes you want to be passionate about the class. And, you come in and everybody has life.
I have stories all the time.
And they're fantastic also. But you come in and most of us, we're all adults. We work. Some of us have kids, and some of us have struggles, but you always come in a positive attitude, and hearing you talk and your stories and the way that you present the class and the material in such an interesting way, like it really makes you want to come back. And so
thank you. And by the way, they have signed confidentiality agreements, so don't ask them about the stories.
Yeah.
They can't tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or else we're gonna get shot.
Right?
No.
Bubbly.
Oh.
Very, very bubbly. And it's such a simple word, but there's so much meaning behind it. I think we look at bubbly and we just think of the soap bubbles and stuff. But to me, a bubbly person is a very happy person. And just like I said before, no matter the struggles that you were going through, and when you had told us a little bit what was going on, and I was like, I would have never known that because you masked it so well, and which to me is impressive because a lot of people, they can't take away their personal life and separate the work life. They mix it together, and you'll see it everywhere, whether it's teachers, people at jobs. It's like this. If you look like you hate your job, you probably hate your job. You come in looking like you love your job with that bubbly attitude, and it fires me up.
I love teaching and influencing these minds. It's just amazing. Okay, I don't do that bad. I made that sound sinister, but I do.
we're
But they do have to
possessed.
endure my stories. They do have to endure my stories. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for being honest. So y'all can tell me the truth after the podcast. So just before we close, I just want to ask a few questions. And I always have a signature question that I ask all my guests when I have a guest on the podcast. And that is, how do you keep moving in the direction of more? What are some things you do to stay positive and just, to wake up the next day? Just basic things that you do to just move, keep it going, to keep pressing.
When you're pursuing what you want to pursue, it's more than just like, oh, I'm waking up for my 9-to-5 job at, I don't know, McDonald's, like no one, depending on who you are, you're not going to wake up passionate about that. Most people won't. Like, I think that the thing that should move you forward is knowing that no matter how big or little your steps are, that you are moving forward. It doesn't matter if it's like, oh, I started later in life, or it's going to take me longer because I have to take remedial. It's like any way you approach college, if you do it and you're consistent and you just keep moving forward, then it doesn't matter how you get there, and that's all that matters at the end. So as long as you are consistent in that, then just wake up knowing that, you're doing something with your life, and that's the best you can ask for,
That's a great answer. I just knew you were going to say LL Cool J, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, Nathan. So how do you stay positive? How do you keep moving? How do you keep pressing with all that you have going on?
So there's two things. One, stay hungry. Never be satisfied with yourself.
Ooh, I like that. That's a tweetable. Y'all should tweet that out, family. And make
Hashtag.
sure you hashtag it. Hashtag it. Definitely.
The reason behind that is the first thing anybody does when they wake up is they look in the mirror. And the first thing you should say to yourself, how can I be a better man or woman today than I was yesterday? Mm-hmm. If you lose that, you get complacent. And from experiences, complacency kills. If you're complacent, that means you're satisfied with everything. There's no point of you aspiring to be better. So that's the first one that I do. I make sure, like, hey, I cannot be as satisfied as I am today than I was yesterday. I have to be more. I have to be hungrier. Right. So just stay hungry always. And then 2, have something that's meaningful towards you. Like my son, my future. Mm-hmm. I want to have a good career. Good
legacy.
money.
Yeah.
So my son doesn't have to struggle. Like, he doesn't have to work when he is 10, 12 years old like I did. Yeah. And of course, I want to be able to have a good career so I can attract a good woman in my life so we can grow together and have our family of our own and give something to my son that I never had was having both parents. Yeah. So stay hungry and find something to hold on to, whether it's your future, whether you're doing it for a certain person or simply just doing it for yourself. Just find something to hold on to and remember that every single day. Another thing that helps is writing it down on a piece of paper, put it on the mirror, put it on the fridge, and
post it up. Yes.
And recite it every day so you won't forget and you can motivate yourself every day.
By the way, he was not coached yet, but he that's perfect. I think I just changed the title of this episode, y'all. I think it's going to be Stay Hungry. Hashtag it, Stay Hungry. All right. So before we go, do you have any other comments, questions, thoughts, words, inspiration that you want to know? If you want people to connect with you outside of here, anything like that, whatever you want.
Shoot.
Whatever.
Plug my Instagram or plug my
whatever.
anything.
Yes, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Okay. This is your final thoughts.
Well, all right. Final thoughts. I guess I'll say if you want music at your wedding or your event, Alyssa Natalia Music is my Facebook page. If you want to check me out, I like to sing. I like to play guitar, and yeah. So,
perfect.
And thank you so much for having me, and thank you for being an amazing teacher.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Words of wisdom: eat. Always eat. I'm telling you, if you don't eat, you're gonna fail yourself because you need all that food for your brain, for your body. It's simple, but you listen to a lot of people nowadays that only eat once a day. Yeah. Eat, have fun,
and breathe,
and live the best life that you can. That's all I can say. You live one life, live the best life, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. I don't have Instagram. I have Facebook. Just type in Nathan Garcia. Then I have Snapchat. My name is Nate93 on there.
Woo.
This is good.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for being here
Thank you.
and sharing with me today. I thank you for your words of inspiration and encouragement and just some insight into this process of going to college. Because I know that there may be people on here like, well, I'm not going to college, I'm not thinking about it. But hopefully you've gleaned something from what they've offered to help you on your journey toward more and what you want to do next. Because with all journeys, you have detours, there's a path, and your path may not be college, but maybe there's something that you can do. Maybe there's a course you take somewhere else online. Maybe there's someone you talk to, a mentor you interview. Maybe there's someone in your life that's influential, whether it's a teacher or someone you work with, a coworker or a parent. There's could be many different ways that you can gather inspiration for your journey. And realize what you want, and just know that, you know, there is a way to navigate this world and to stay positive. And the words of Nathan, stay hungry. So you can hashtag that, stay hungry. I'll hashtag that on this episode. But just take some time to evaluate the different steps that you encounter, the different parts of the process that you encounter, because I think all roads lead to your destination, and I think your destiny is your destiny and it's yours to fulfill. And you can do that by, you know, just paying attention, being self-aware. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the information and the words of encouragement, and just for being here. It's been amazing. And so this is a special edition. So I'll have to figure out some other things with it, but this will be uploaded, and definitely check it out. So a few other reminders. If you're not following me, follow me, Dr. Tammy Francis, on all social media platforms. This podcast is uploaded to YouTube, and it's also on iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud, so you can check it out there. If you haven't purchased the playbook, Manifesting More, Playbook for Planning and Living on Purpose, do that. It's a great tool to work on time management and organization. So I encourage you to check it out. It's on Amazon. It's also on tfdonaldson.com/books. You can find it there. You can actually find everything on my website, tfdonaldson.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being here. And hopefully you will stay hungry and think about what you're doing and your return on investment. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Peace.
Stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself, you'll get more. You should aspire for more. Aspire for more. You should aspire for more.